Hello everyone, this is Martin Rooney and we are live. It is Friday and you know what that means. Hey, it's the end of your week, but it also means that I am about to deliver another big idea. Every week, if you've seen, I'm somewhere in the world, and every week at the end of that week, I try to think about what was the big idea. What was the thing that pushed me forward? Now, I'll challenge you first. Before you hear my big idea, guys, use that process. This is a process that has helped move me forward in my life, that I look back, I reflect on what did I learn, how did I grow each week. Add those big ideas up for 20 years, and you start to do great things. How do I know that? Because yesterday, I was doing a podcast from Bangkok, Thailand. I was doing a podcast in Bangkok, Thailand. Think about that technology for a second. And this interviewer had done his homework. This guy knew everything about me. He had incredible questions, but one question didn't just almost stump me, it stimulated me. And it led to the big idea of the week. So here's the question. Here's the question that he had. He said, Martin, look at Training for Warriors right now. Hundreds of facilities around the world, tens of thousands of lives being impacted, people beating cancer, people beating multiple sclerosis, people off diabetes medicine. Was that the vision? Was that the vision you always had? And when he asked me that, I had to stop for a second, because you know what the answer should have been? The answer should have been, well, of course that was always the vision, helping all these people and saving all these lives. Of course, that was the vision. But I couldn't say that because originally it wasn't the vision. And that disturbed me a little bit. See, I want everybody to know the original vision of Training for Warriors was I wanted to help some of the best fighters in the world win world titles. And we did it. But now 20 years later, there's a new vision. And I couldn't explain that because, see, I always thought, hey, what's your 5-year vision? What's your 10-year vision? And you know what? You know what the big idea is? Your vision's gonna change. Your vision's gonna change, but I got a new Rooney's Rule for you. A new Rooney's Rule, I just wrote it down. Your vision is not just seeing the future, but it's seeing the opportunity in front of you right now. Did everybody hear that? I'm going to repeat it. New Rooney's Rule. Your vision is not just seeing the future, it's seeing the big opportunity in front of you right now. Because your vision is going to change. Now let me explain. See, I was so uptight about my answer. Like, did I give the right answer? Is that the right thing to say? Aren't you just supposed to say you have a vision and you just follow through and you see it? But I started to do some research this week, and I want to share with you some interesting stories, and we're going to go in chronological order. So, 1853, there was a guy named Levi Strauss. A guy named Levi Strauss. So do you know that name, Levi Strauss? Maybe you're thinking about something right now. But this guy lived in New York City. The gold rush had happened in 1850, so 1853, he goes to San Francisco. And you know what his vision was? You know what his vision was? He loaded up a bunch of wagons filled with canvas, and he was going to help all these gold miners make tents and cover their wagons with canvas. That was the big vision. Drew them all the way out to San Francisco. And you know what happened? You know what happened when he got there? Everybody said, tents? Man, I wish you would have brought some pants. Man, we need some pants. So the vision for Levi Strauss changed. The vision changed. He started making canvas pants. People loved the pants. Then he ran out of canvas and he got this material that was a French material called denim. And then this guy goes on to be one of the famous jeans makers in the world. See, so what does that mean for you? First one, with every example I give you, hey guys, what's a different use for what you're doing right now? You heard my story. My system was originally to mimic the metabolic demands of an MMA fight, but now we find that it helps people burn fat and build muscle. It's saving lives. It's a different use. Do you have a little bit of a different use for what you're doing right now? Is there something that you're doing that you could change that use? Take that big idea and marinate in it this week. Now, next idea. You know this one. 1886, a pharmacist named John Pemberton. This pharmacist named John Pemberton, he needs a cure. He wants to come up with a new little elixir for headaches. Pharmacist. Now he goes to the pharmacy, he puts this concoction together that he actually stirred with a boat oar the first time. And when they made the mix, they loved the taste. It had this cola taste. And then he said, here's how you do it. Mix this up and we'll make this headache cure. And one of the guys makes a mistake and he puts in carbonated water instead. And then when they take one sip, they knew they didn't have a headache cure. You know what they had? They had a fountain drink to compete against root beer and ginger ale, and that was all that existed at the time. And what did he invent, guys? What came out right then? Coca-Cola. He was on a vision to be a pharmacist for headache medicine, and he creates a beverage that in many ways changed the world. So here's the next question for you. There might be a different way to see something, but can you mix up what you're doing right now a little different? Can you mix it up a little different? Can you add something new to the mix that can make your vision different, better, more powerful? I added new stuff to the mix. Our system is so much more powerful with the people that it's serving now. There's only a handful of world-class fighters, but there's 100 million people that need our help. So what can you do with your business to do the same thing? So how can you see it different? How can you get a new mix? Now, 1904. 1904, you want to hear this story. A guy named Thomas Sullivan, he works at a coffee and tea, as a coffee and tea merchant. And he always had to send out samples in these tins. But what he did was, because tea is one of the most, besides water, the most drank beverage in the world, he said, instead of sending these teas, which is out in tins, which is expensive, let me send them out in these little silk bags. It'll save me money, save me time. So he makes these little silk bags, sends out the tea, and guess what happens? The orders start coming in like crazy. Orders coming in like crazy. But it wasn't for the tea. It was for the tea bags that he had invented. So what did he do? What about you? He repackaged the industry. I don't know what industry you're right now. The odds are you're in fitness if you're watching this, but how can you repackage yourself? How can you continue to repackage to make your offering stronger? And I see we have hundreds and hundreds of people around the world packaging their business as Training for Warriors or putting in a new package of Training for Warriors into their existing business. And guys, it's making a big difference. It's saving lives. So I'll challenge you right now. Are you just tied to that one package idea, that name you made up, or that vision that you had 10 years ago of how you were going to take on the world? Well, maybe it's time for a little repackage, guys, because a little repackage can help you help more people. Thomas Sullivan showed it. More people show it too. Now, I got two coming in. I got two coming in from a famous company called 3M. A famous company called 3M. In 1950, there were some researchers. They were working on fluorocarbons for aircraft. They were thinking about how to cover aircraft. Some of the fluorocarbons spill on the guy's shoe. So these fluorochemicals get on this guy's shoe, these tennis shoes. And then the guy continues to play sports. And you know what happened? You know what happened? One of the shoes got dirty. The other shoe never collected any dirt. The shoe that the fluorochemicals that were spilled on it never collected any dirt. And you know what they invented at 3M? Do you know what they had invented? Scotchgard. Scotchgard by accident. The vision was, let's make aircraft fly through the air better, less resistance, and instead they changed the industry. Now, your carpets, your sofas, everything is different because they were able to look for a new purpose in what they were doing. So did you hear that? I want to throw that one out to you. But another story from 3M. Oh, this one's great. A researcher named Spencer Silver. He's instructed to come up with a new adhesive at 3M, a new adhesive. And he puts all these chemicals together and he does all this stuff. And he comes up with this adhesive, but it's weak. The adhesive is weak. It doesn't work. And I'm actually looking at some of it right now. The adhesive is weak. It doesn't work. And you know what he comes up with? He comes up with this weak adhesive that sticks to stuff, but then it re-sticks to other stuff. And for 5 years, nobody looked at it. Nobody thought it was good. It was weaker than the adhesives they had. But then he had a friend that was singing at church and the pages kept falling out of all his hymnals. So you know what they did? He said, hey, you got that adhesive still? Yeah, I got that adhesive. And he put some of that adhesive up and the adhesive stuck everywhere. And you know what they had? You know what they had? One of the best sellers in business office history after that. They had the Post-it note, right? And again, He had a vision. They were looking for something, but they found something else. Again, it's okay if the vision changes. That's the big idea for the week. You got to see the future, but you got to see the opportunity in front of you right now. Spencer Silver saw it. He held on to it for 5 years, and it became one of the biggest sellers in history. But maybe the granddaddy of them all. Maybe the biggest one that we're going to pull the trick on you right now. In 2003, there's a kid sitting in his dorm room at Harvard. There's a kid sitting in his dorm room at Harvard, and he's looking at something called the Facebook. And see, what the Facebook was an original book. I had it when I was in college. That's how old I am. And you looked up and you could see who the new guys and girls and everybody else that was coming into school and something about them. And you looked at them. So what he did is in 2003, he made something called Face Mash. And the whole purpose of it was to decide who's better looking than somebody else, hot or not. And this guy named Mark Zuckerberg did that. Then he changed that. Then the vision changed. Then they created the Facebook. And it was just used at Harvard. Then it was just used at Stanford and a couple other Ivy League universities. And then all of a sudden it started to get used at all the universities. And then all of a sudden it started to be used for businesses, and it started to be used for personal use, and it started to be used to connect people all over the world together. And then it started to be used for Facebook Lives, just like this, the current iteration 13 years later after he's doing a hot or not site. The vision has changed. The hot or not idea, I guess okay idea, but here's the thing, the idea of how it's used now, the vision of how it's used now, it's changing the world. So what is the big idea this week? The vision will change. So with vision, you gotta be able to see the future, but you also have to be able to see the opportunity in front of you right now. Are you looking at right now? Because right now, something you're doing, if you change course, incredible things can happen. Now, what's that called in sports? What's that called in sports? Just to give you a little, again, a little push, because everybody needs to do this. You have to always evaluate the vision and see what's in front of you right now. Don't say, oh, well, this was my vision. I always said this, and if it doesn't happen, I fail. No, technology changes. Industries change. Your vision will change. And what do they call that in sport? In particular, in American football, they call that calling an audible. See, when you call an audible, when the quarterback looks out there on the field and what they were expecting to happen is different from what they're seeing, they've got another plan. They're ready to make a change. They're ready to call an audible and change that play so they can move the vision in another direction, right? So I don't know if you've been calling enough audibles lately, but guys, the more you call when situations change, the more successful you will become. So that is my big idea this week. Now, behind the camera right now is my beautiful wife, Amanda Rooney, and she is gonna, if you've got a shout out of where you're coming in from in the world, or if you've got a question for me about vision, or how a vision can change, or hey, even how TFW can help you, let me know right now. We'll give you some shout outs, and then we will close this 10 minutes of power out.
So we have Paul Whitfield saying before he joined the TFW Familia, there'd be no way he would be so excited about a Post-it note.
Hey, Paul. Hey, so guys, Paul is out there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, but I know Newcastle is right where we are in the UK. And guys, Paul just got on board with us. He's doing amazing things already. Just started a new group. And hey, so Paul, super proud of you, what I'm watching. Man, expecting and hopefully to see you guys at the summit this year, too.
We have a bunch of people from New York. We have a few from John Prano and Bill Felice's place.
Oh, yeah. So Mayapack in the house. Hey, they just got the big award in Mayapack as the best weight loss program. Who would have thought that? See, guys, the vision has changed. If you would have told me 20 years ago Training for Warriors would get known in hometowns as the best weight loss program for people, I would have said that's not the vision. But now it is the vision because it's saving lives. So everybody listening to Mayapack, stay on fire. And we have a surprise for you coming real soon. John will tell you all about that.
We have Barb in from TFW Long Island as well.
Oh, well, Barb, as expected. And hey, guys, another incredible transformation story that when Barb showed me her before and after pictures when I met her, same thing, guys. Do you see that each one of these is a statement that the vision would change? I used to see the before and afters for weigh-ins for fights or before and afters of guys getting ready for the NFL. And now it's before and afters of people that have changed their lives. And Barb, keep doing what you're doing. I know you're always on fire up with the Long Island guys and with the Strong Island guys, always bringing new people in. So I know you're a big part of helping them out.
We have Mark from Cavan, Ireland, hoping to be on board as an affiliate real soon.
Hey, Mark, so I just wrote an email about you and, to the group that we talk about that. So that is fun. So that's Mark McDonough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mark, so I just wrote an email this morning about that. So, hey, super excited. And we're going to be talking to you real soon, guaranteed.
We have shout-outs from Argentina.
Argentina in the house. I guess I would say hola back for that one. I'm pretty sure.
We have in from TFW Dark Horse in Warner Robins, Georgia.
Yeah, in Georgia. Hey, so tell everybody that we said hello there for sure.
Mike Subs and the entire Subs clan is in the house.
Which is growing. Hey, again, congrats going out to Mike. Hey, Mike Subs, you're going to get stronger just carrying that gigantic baby you just had, or your wife had, carrying that baby around. So make sure to switch arms on that kid so you don't just have one gigantic arm.
Then we have Andrew Tucker saying, Roon, great stuff, baby.
Andrew Tucker in the house. Hey, always checking out your posts, man, and you're doing great stuff, not only with the family, but the business too, and I miss you, man. Hey, this guy that I'm talking to, for everybody listening, is one of the funniest dudes I know. And Andrew, we saw Independence Day together at the Olympic Training Center. That was 20 years ago because it's the 20-year anniversary, and I was thinking about that, which is freaking me out because now they got part 2. People don't even know what part was. That's so long ago.
We have Trisha Dow saying she's loving your live cast.
Coming in from Scotland. Hey, I hope all is well with you and Martin. Best first name you could possibly have. So, hey, keep rocking. I'm seeing you're way more active in there on the page. And I'm really excited to see what you're doing with everybody out there in Bathgate.
Mike Zanister says, what's up, rock stars?
Mike Z in the house. Hey, I'm coming back out to Chicago area a couple of times. It's going to be time to rock and roll everything again this year and tell everybody I said hello.
Dennis says Pig City is in the house.
Spenborg, Denmark in the house, which we will be rocking again. I think it's September if I have that right. And hey, Dennis, we gotta figure out who do we gotta petition to get you into this country. I'm getting angry about that.
Then we have Sarah Z saying, great message, Martin. I've always thought of it as being the master of Plan B, but I'm fully committed to Plan A, but totally ready to embrace changes and challenges.
I love it. Hey, Sarah, that is the audible. And hey, you've definitely called those because I'll tell you, still, your before and after photo is one of the most shocking ones that I ever saw. That, hey, it shows, hey, can you make a change? Absolutely. And that changes not only have to happen, but they're going to happen. So whether you want to call it Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, I don't care if you go all the way to Plan Z, the most successful people in the world are ready to make that change that vision, and do incredible things. And you've already shown you have the power to do that, so what can't you do?
Then we have Ryan Fell from New Jersey, says he trains, it's scrolling, he trains jiu-jitsu and loves your books.
Hey, thanks for that. And that's another part. So Ryan's bringing some up from my home state and where this whole thing all started. So remember, hey, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. The Training for Warriors system is still helping top jiu-jitsu players all over the world. I'm talking to them all the time on the phone. So this is still a piece of where the core came from. But again, the message for today was, guys, you got to take a real look at what you've created, how you can use the things that you're using, because there can be incredible changes that can happen and you can help more people.
We have Finland in the house with Hat Solo.
Hat Solo Hatuden, world champ. We're missing you here already. I don't have anything to do since you left. So, hey, we got to moi moi and we got to get ready again for the next big adventure.
Then we have Chris Johnson from Ambler, Pennsylvania, introduced to you by Blair Baxter, completed his level 1 this time last year. Thanks for all you do, changing lives, including mine.
My pleasure. And tell Blair we said hello. I know, man, they've been producing some incredible results out of there. And hey, use that education to continue to help more people bring out the warrior within. Holy cow, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And hey, so what time? I don't know what time. But hey, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to make this into the crazy shout out thing, but here's what I would say. If you like this today, guys, share it. if you like this, because these ideas are game changers. They really are. And in a 10-minute little exposure, it can help somebody out. So if you know somebody that needs to change their vision, if you know somebody that needs a little motivation, share this video with them right now. Spread it out there, because the worst thing that can happen is you think it's a great message and nobody gets it. Because remember, when everybody shares, everybody wins. And that's what I'm trying to do here every week on these Facebook Lives, is really study, do my homework, and bring you an incredible idea that can help you and help the people around you. So, do we got any last minute shout outs right there?
Just Dennis saying he's going to change his vision right now and barbecue with Boondog Live.
All right, and hey, and if you enjoyed this one, guys, I'm going to try another Sunday smoothie, because I am home this weekend, which is a rarity, and I won't be home for a bunch of weekends after this. So join me on Sunday for the Sunday smoothie. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this big idea. This message is big. I think it's huge. It helped me. I hope it helps you. And guys, this is Martin Rooney signing off with the next big idea. Enjoy your weekend. If you're in the United States, enjoy Memorial Day weekend. If you're not in the United States, I'm sorry you have to work this Monday. But hey, wherever you are, take this idea. The vision can change, because you don't just see what's in the future, but you got to see what's in front of you right now.